Hey, what's up, everybody? Welcome to the Being Beautifully Honest podcast and channel. Thanks for being here, for being subscribed if you are. And if you are not, go ahead and hit that button. And if you're listening to this on YouTube, hit that like button while you're at it. It's like walking into the room and hitting that light switch. We just want to go ahead and brighten up the place. So let's get into this podversation / reality chat. I'm doing this from behind the wheel, so I apologize if there's any background noise, guys, but I'm trying to multitask, okay? But I wanted to talk about this. I saw on the most recent episode of Love and Marriage Huntsville where a hotel went for a therapy session, which in my personal opinion is just for the sake of the show and the storyline, although he was ordered to seek counseling by the court when he chose to sue his ex-wife for custody of their 4, like he likes to say, beautiful children. He claimed that, he's always so disingenuous. He says, well, the court saw that Melody had the children in therapy, so they just thought it would be a good idea for me to seek therapy as well. That doesn't even make any sense. That makes absolutely zero sense. So because the court saw that Melody had the children in therapy, they thought it would be a good idea for him to go too. Why didn't they say the same thing for Melody? He's always so disingenuous. So I caught that and I'm like, okay, here we go again. Here we go. And in this therapy session, he's speaking with, it always has to be a woman, it seems like, when it comes to him. Because any real man who's a therapist, who's a real therapist, not these internet clowns that are doing podcasts these days that are just talking about how horrible black women are and single black mothers, and this is the reason why the black community is the way it is, and black women and black women and black women. These people have absolutely zero credentials. They have no experience except for their terrible backgrounds and bad experiences that they have had, and they're using this as an outlet to lash out at women instead of seeing a real therapist themselves. They're online trying to give advice and trying to lead a movement and trying to fill in the shoes that I guess Kevin Samuels left when he died unexpectedly. Anyway, he wouldn't see a real man who's a therapist because when the other guy, and forgive me, I can't remember his name, but he is a real amazing therapist. He would call people like Martell and these other trash husbands on Love and Marriage Huntsville on their BS, and they didn't like it. So that's why Marcel told Letitia, he tried, I don't want to say he tried, he did. And it doesn't take much for him to manipulate Letitia, but he tried to act as if he was trying to be a better man and saying that he's down for therapy, but I don't think we need to see this therapist anymore. And Letitia's like, okay. Because he is gaslighting her and she just allows him to do that. So Dr. Francis, that's his name. They would not subject themselves to therapists like Dr. Francis because he sees right through them. He knows better. They would rather not go to therapy at all, or like Martell, he wants to see a female, okay? Because that's what he likes. So anyway, in this therapy session, he's speaking to this therapist about the issues that he has with other people, and just like he does, blaming other people and saying, when people don't do what they say they're going to do, then I just get angry and I lash out and I want to curse somebody out, which he probably does. He does, not probably. He does. I'm quite sure he curses his mom out. I'm quite sure of it. And I'm saying he gets upset when babysitters cancel on him at the last minute, and he gets upset when he asks his mom to watch the kids and then she says that she can't do it or she doesn't want to do it. Either way, it doesn't really matter because those are not her children, those are her grandkids, and she doesn't have to take care of them, which even though she stands up for his BS, she doesn't want it to affect her. So if you remember seasons ago when she had the conversation with him and he told her that Melody, filed for divorce and that they were going to be getting divorced, she was upset. I think she definitely knew what he was in for when it came to any type of time that he would have to take care of the kids, that he's going to be coming to her a lot. She knows that Melody was the main one that was taking care of the children, taking care of the household. She knows that. And now that separation was going to be happening, she was going to have to step in at times that she does not want to. And I feel that at this point in time, because he's constantly traveling back and forth to Atlanta, slinging his little willy anywhere he pleases, and with any foolish woman that will allow him to, he's going to come to her if he can't find another babysitter, and she's tired of it. So he brought that up. And now he's trying to put it out there that he pretty much raised himself. And it probably is true. I wouldn't doubt it. I don't see his mom as being a very hands-on woman, even if she had to work, just one job. I don't see her being a very hands-on mother. I do believe that a lot of the issues that he has stems from his upbringing and the lack of having a father figure in his life, not just in the household, but having a father figure in his life, because he said that his dad was in prison for over 20 years. And that episode where they played a clip of it where he was with his dad in the boat, his dad just doesn't really look like he wants to have anything to do with him. He's probably at this point where he's like, my time has happened, what's done is done, and look, I'm not close to my son, and there's really nothing I can do about it at this point in time. The past is the past, and I'm just going to try to live the rest of my life as best as I can, but I'm not going to sit and feel guilty about not being in Holtell's life. And I would never be one of those people that would blame a woman for why the father chose not to be a part of the child's life. But learning that Holtell has a sibling, because his brother was on this episode, his younger brother. They have the same mom, but different fathers. Big surprise. But anyway, just saying, it was the both of them having a conversation, just talking about how the hood raised them. So both of them are pretty much saying that their mom was not a very active role in their lives. So I do believe it is important for a father to have that role in their children's lives, but it also is incumbent on the mother to have a great role in their children's lives. And unfortunately, if the father's in there, an even greater role in their children's life, and you have to sacrifice and do what you have to do because you did what you did to have them, so you have to do what you have to do to make sure that they're not going to be a menace to society. And it sounds like both of her sons were kind of some menaces at some point. He is on probation, just got off probation, so he spent some time in prison. And then we all know that Holtell has been arrested a few times. The allegations about him playing a role in a hand in the theft of an ATM machine, that information has been put out there, as well as the alleged domestic dispute that he had with the mother of his fifth child that they tried to keep under wraps, and he probably was taken in but was released. That is the information that was shared about that situation. And we all know the things that he has done to his ex-wife and tried to do to his ex-wife after they were no longer together, to try to get her to shut her mouth about him and quote-unquote quit bullying him on social media, where he was going to try to put out this sex tape. So anyway, to have revenge against Melody. Well, he is doing what he does. He's passing the buck and trying to point fingers and blame. I'm not saying that his mom doesn't deserve some of it, but at this point in time, dude, you are in your, however old you are, I'm assuming he's in his early 40s or late 30s. what's done is done. Take accountability and responsibility for yourself and stop trying to sit and blame your mom for your actions, because everything that you do at this point in time, past the age of being a minor, it's a choice. And the world doesn't want to hear the excuses and blame, because there's a whole lot of people in prison right now who can point fingers and blame as to why they started to do the things that they were doing. And the courts don't give them leniency for that. Unless you were that rich white kid that they said had affluenza, meaning he lived such an affluent life that he didn't understand that the choices that he made to drive drunk and wind up killing somebody on the road was based on his wealthy upbringing. So give him a break. You know, those situations like that, they are so few and far between that it really isn't going to make a difference whether you can blame somebody for your actions or not. The court doesn't care. You're still going to get that sentence. You're still going to get that fine. You're still going to get what you're supposed to get, and that's it. So him using this opportunity to point fingers and blame, we know he loves to blame Melody for a whole lot, but when it comes to now him wanting to blame his mom, he's trying to put her in this bad light, and also wanting to be able to just drop his kids off to her whenever he has the kids in his custody or in his care. It just goes to show and prove how selfish he is, because he just wants to live his life and do what he wants to do on his own terms. And it's like, you ain't doing nothing but filming this show. You don't have a real career, and you definitely don't have a job. You really should go and fill out those applications for Home Depot. They're actually having a lot of hiring fairs where they will hire you on the spot. You just go right there, fill out your application. They will do the interview right then and there. And I'm quite sure they'll see those muscles and they can say, we can use you in the lumber department. Okay. But he wants to just be able to drop his kids off to his mom whenever he has the kids in his care so that he can live his life. You never should have been trying to seek custody of those kids, ever. But that's just how selfish he is. He just wanted to take the kids away from Melody, try to prove a point, as well as get a check. And that's ridiculous. So when I heard him talking about this in his therapy session, as well as sitting down with his brother and talking about how the hood raised them and you know, just pretty much trying to point blame at their mom, maybe not so directly when he was sitting with his brother, but essentially that's what they were doing. And then in the therapy session, when he was talking about how he just wishes people would do what they say they're going to do, and then he started bringing up his mom and talking about, you know, if I ask you to watch the kids and whatever, that's all he really wants. He wants his mom to be able to do what he needs her to do or wants her to do at that time. And then he's trying to act as if, well, she owes me because I've done stuff for her. And then when I ask you to do something for me and you can't do it, then you get mad when you ask me to do stuff for you. And then I say well, I can't do it because remember when I came over and asked you to watch the kids and you said that you couldn't do it? So he wants to blackmail his mom for not watching his kids when he could very well be just doing it his damn self, because he is not busy. But he always wanted to put out and portray this role of being such an active parent, and I'm doing this and I'm doing that. I was the one that was cooking the meals. I was the one that was doing this and doing that. And it's just absolutely ridiculous. So I just wanted to talk about that because I was like, the audacity of this dude is absolutely insane. So guys, you let me know your thoughts about this in the comment section below. Thank you so much for liking and subscribing. I'm Beth. I'm just being beautifully honest. So until the next time, I just wanted to keep it brief, beautiful, and now I'm going to say bye.